In the heart of the great African rainforest, there was a village called Udala. The land was rich, the rivers were full of fish, and the people lived in harmony with nature. But among all the young maidens in Udala, one stood out, Adanma. Adanma was a vision of beauty. Her skin was smooth and radiant, glowing like the first morning sun. Her long, dark hair cascaded down her back in soft waves, and her eyes were deep pools of mystery, holding the wisdom of generations. She moved with the grace of a gazelle, and her laughter was like the sound of a bubbling stream. Every young man in Udala dreamed of making her his wife, but Adanma was no ordinary girl. She sought a love that was pure, deep, and beyond the superficial. Many suitors came from near and far, bringing gifts of gold, fine fabrics, and cattle. But Adanma rejected them all. She had seen men boast of their strength, their wealth, and their power, yet none had a heart that matched their words. One evening, as the village elder sat under the great baobab tree, an old blind seer approached. He pointed his staff at Adanma's father, Okeke, and spoke in a trembling voice. "Your daughter's husband is not among men. Her destiny is tied to a being of the earth, one that slithers but is not evil, one that hides but sees all. When the time comes, she will know." The villagers gasped. What could this mean? A being that slithers. Surely, the seer was mistaken. One fateful evening, as Adanma walked by the river, a stranger appeared. He was tall, with skin as smooth as polished ebony, and eyes that shimmered like golden sunlight. His voice was deep and soothing, carrying an unexplainable power. "I have watched you, Adanma," he said. "I know your heart seeks something beyond riches and strength. Will you walk with me?" Something about him felt different, otherworldly, yet kind. Over the next few weeks, Adanma found herself drawn to him. He spoke in riddles, yet his words made sense. He never boasted, never tried to impress her. He was simply himself. When he finally asked for her hand in marriage, she said yes. The village was in shock. Who was this stranger? Where did he come from? But Adanma's heart was set, and her father, though hesitant, gave his blessing. The wedding was grand, and on the night of their union, Adanma's husband made a request. "You must never follow me into the forest at night. No matter what you hear, do not seek me out." Adanma, though curious, promised to obey. But soon, she noticed something strange. Every night, her husband disappeared into the forest. Every morning, he returned before dawn. One night, unable to resist, she followed him. What she saw made her blood freeze. Under the full moon, her husband stood by the river. As he whispered ancient words, his body shimmered, and before her very eyes, he transformed into a giant serpent. A magnificent snake, golden and radiant, coiled beneath the moonlight. Adanma gasped, stepping on a dry twig. The snake turned, his golden eyes locking onto hers. "Adanma," his voice echoed in the silence, both human and inhuman. "You broke your promise." Tears streamed down her face. "What are you?" she whispered. He sighed, his form shifting back into the man she loved. "I am not of this world. I was born under a curse, to live as both man and serpent. But your love gave me hope. If you had never seen me like this, I would have remained human forever." Adanma fell to her knees, sobbing. "I do not care what you are. I love you." But the magic was broken. The curse that had lain dormant for years was now awake. The sky roared with thunder as the ancient spirits of the land spoke. "The girl has sinned. The girl has sinned. The union is undone." Adanma's husband writhed in pain. "I cannot stay, my love," he whispered. "You have freed me, but at a price. I must return to the spirit world." "No," she cried, holding on to him, but he was already slipping away. His body shimmered once more, and in an instant, he was gone, leaving behind only a golden snake bracelet on the ground. Heartbroken, Adanma returned to the village, but she was never the same. She wore the golden snake bracelet every day, and often, she would sit by the river, whispering to the water as if speaking to someone unseen. They say, On nights when the moon is full, a golden serpent slithers by the river's edge, watching over her. Some say it is her husband, bound by love even beyond the spirit world. And so, the legend of the girl who married a snake lives on, a tale of love, trust, and the mysteries that lie beyond human understanding.